Good afternoon, evening, morning, and wherever you may be. This is the Metroid Fusion Open Randomizer Tournament. We are in the final stretch, folks. I'm Army of One. I'm being joined by Autumn out of habit. Autumn, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good today. Doing pretty good. We actually managed to make it here on time, which is always a good thing. Don't want to miss any quality Fusion action.
And will we have some quality Fusion action? I don't know, because I do not know which seed we will be running. I'm still looking for my favorite seed. It's lurking out there somewhere. It is waiting in the wings. And Essen Ivan has put me on blast and put me on alert if he gets it. Which hopefully he does, because if he continues on in the tournament, he'll run into it. It's there. It's waiting for him.
We're guaranteed to have some good Fusion action today, though, because we have Essen Ivan versus Reseren. Ivan coming in as the #1 seed in the tournament. And
that's right. We had seeding races.
All of the trimmings that come with that. But then also we have Reseren, the only runner the entire tournament to have taken a game off of Hercules bench press.
Not for lack of trying, mind you.
We look at the road going forward, and Herc is in grand finals, so everyone is trying to line up to take a shot. But this is going to be a best-of-3 series between these two runners. We are in Game 1 of the Losers Bracket Semifinals. Winner of this series will go on to play Lenophis in Losers Finals, and the loser of the series, well, they're going to go home.
But not before taking 4th place. I mean, geez, we started with 34 runners in the field, and it's not been an easy road for any of them. And we have the very start of the race. So, seeing as this is a Game 1, let's go ahead and maybe, yeah, sure, this is semifinals of the lower bracket. I don't know.
We can still tell our viewers what we're trying to do here, though.
You know what we're doing here, but just in case you still have a little bit of morning brain, which Reseren might have, that's not the cleanest climb that we've
more
seen.
Like one of my climbs there, but yeah, I mean, especially I've been part of the VOD crew before, so it never hurts to catch people up, especially who might just want to see the high-profile matches. So in this Metroid Fusion Randomizer, our goal is to beat the game. To do that, we need to spawn the SAX on the operations deck, which requires Charge Beam, Plasma Beam, missiles, level 4 security locks, as well as one of High Jump or Space Jump in order to trigger the fight, as we are playing on version 0.9.0 of the randomizer. And Army, how about while we get ready, we'll hold off on the level 4 locks actually until we see our runners can get Morph, Missiles, or Speed Booster first.
Oh, it's not missiles.
It is a Morph Ball start.
It is a Morph Ball. Oh god.
This is a
Ivan's looking at this. Ivan is going, oh god, Army, what fresh hell have you brought to us this morning? I guess, Ivan, over in Spain, so what have I given to him this evening? We shall see. Just as an aside, there are 3 items that you can start with. Morph Ball being the one in this seed, but also Missiles or Speed are the other 2. As far as level 4 locks...
Much like Meatballs, Morph Ball known to be a little spicy.
A little spicy. And as the runners are on the way to the cubbyhole in just a moment, in logic, for level 4 locks, you need Gravity Suit, Speed Booster, Morph Ball, and either Morph Ball bombs or... Ivan hates me already. It's 2 minutes into the first seed, and he's trying to figure out where I live at this point.
Well, let's not tell him that, but with our runners picking up power bombs here, what they can do is they can roll into a morphing in their Morph Ball, hold down the R button, and if they press shoot, they'll make a clicking sound. Can't actually use those until we get our main bomb data.
Ivan, forgetting that he doesn't have missiles, has to turn around because he can't get into Sector 1. Reseren, going the correct way.
I've made that mistake before, so I'm not going to throw any shade at anyone. But while we're going through Sector 2, we will see if our runners want to do a sequence break to get behind a cargo toward the top of the sector here, or if they're just going to run by. I know Reseren has said in his streams that he's never going to go for it in a race, but things can change in the tournament.
And he's already passed it up. Ivan, on the other hand, has not. This is pretty high chance of it being an important major.
Ivan is not one to worry about logic. Oh, and Ivan did say that he's getting rewarded with Charge Beam. So unless Reseren finds something to get there in the data room, he's going to be looking for that. That gives us logical access.
Gotta be real careful about that, though. Especially on zero E-tanks.
Have to wonder if he goes around the sector loop to see if he finds an E-tank somewhere. Now, Reseren, on the other hand, if he tried that, he has not saved, so...
It's also very likely that the data room will have high jump or ice, or something to get over that cargo and put it into logic. Ivan's got to be real careful. Those Zoro hit like trucks. 45 damage apiece when you don't have any suits. And when you don't have any E-tanks, that's 3 hits and you're dead. Reseren, coming up on the data room. Missiles! So, no cargo in logic yet. Reseren will have to come back to Sector 2 later to pick up that charge beam.
He will.
He doesn't even know it's charge beam yet. He doesn't even know it's a major. So we'll see if
he'll check that it's a major on the way out, but...
I can only imagine.
Especially not having saved and with only 99 energy, there's no way he's going to go for it without saving. But while we are in this moment of seeing what Reseren decides to do and just bailing
he decides to leave.
We're just seeing a little bit of a retread. So Army, how about you tell our viewers, what do we need to do to open the level for security locks?
Yeah, I didn't quite finish with that explanation. So, gravity suit, speed booster, morph ball, and morph ball bombs or screw attack. You still need missiles. Both runners have missiles, so it's not too much of a problem this run. But then you'll need some way out of lower sector 4, and that will be either screw attack or ice of some description. Within logic, that would be either diffusion missiles, or it would be Ice Beam plus Wave Beam, as Ice Beam is in the pool for upgrades. And Reseren, he is heading straight back to the Arachnus area. That's 5 extra items, and that's not a bad check right now.
Not a bad check. A lot of runners you'll see put that off until they can open their green doors or until they have power bombs they can use just to route some more checks in here. Since this is a morph start, obviously the 5 items in Arachnus are not going to be required or even likely to give us morph ball. If we see a second morph ball, something has gone horribly wrong.
I would be very confused if we saw a second morph ball.
But what we are seeing is Ivan saving back at the top of Sector 2. He wants that charge beam back, and he will go for it. The good thing with charge beam is, aside from putting some bosses in logic, it doesn't add a lot to logic, so you can't fall too far down a rabbit hole of forgetting what you can logically do. As both of these runners are well versed.
Be real careful again, Ivan. Hey, look, ice missiles. That puts Kago into logic.
That does. That is, in fact, our access, and you have to imagine that Reseren will be going back there as soon as he gets through this area. Anytime you know where there is a major, you always want to go back for it quickly.
It's also just a very, very quick check. It's at the very top of Sector 2. Even if you don't have bombs, then you're good to go. Okay, there's the jump. That is a surprisingly tight jump to not get hit with anything. Another major is the Varia suit.
So going up into the Arachnus area, not going to hurt Ivan if he doesn't follow the same check. Ice Beam and Varia, nice to have, not required to get through the game.
And with ice missiles, those are doing 20 damage each instead of just 10. So that's a nice little
Just
bump
8
up
shots to
in
take out
damage.
Arachnus. It looks like Ivan is also going up to fight everyone's favorite Holy Boys, so Reseren with a fairly solid lead at this point. Getting the good old Arachnus special off of Arachnus, but you know what? For it only being the second E-Tank, probably happy to see it.
Yeah, Reseren suited up. That's extra defense and extra energy. That never hurt anyone. So, Sector 6, sort of in the cards. Not quite yet. We still can't unlock our level 2 locks yet. Even if we wanted to clip out, we don't have high jump either.
Or Speed Booster, for that matter.
Or Speed Booster, for that matter.
We have precisely none of what we need to do that clip.
So, we'll be either heading into... Well, I mean, we'll probably be heading into Sector 1 at this point. We can't get anything in Sector 4. There is one item...
We can't even get into Sector
3.
4. Aside
Yes,
from
we
the
can.
drain pipe, which we can't get, we don't have bombs.
Oh, no, we can take the elevator into Sector 4.
Oh, okay. That we can do.
It's like, wait, what? We can't do anything meaningful in Sector 4.
We could go get electrocuted in some water, but... Reseren is going to go find his charge beam in Sector 2. Still has a fairly solid lead, just over the deaths that, unfortunately, Cargo Jump can lose you a lot of time.
And we already have people in chat calling for Grav on Ridley.
You know, I want to go spicier. I want to see Speed Booster on Ridley. I don't want to see a Gravity Hunt. I don't want to see a Plasma Hunt. We've seen enough of that seed. I want to see a Speed Booster Hunt. Although, a little bit of spoiler, if we see a Speed Booster Hunt, I know Reseren absolutely can clip in to open up level 4 doors without Speed Booster. I have to imagine Ivan knows it as well with all of the various out-of-bounds tricks we've seen him use, so... I guess let's not hope for a Speed Booster. No, let's hope for a Speed Booster go up. That'll be fun. And our runners would need high jump in order to enable that.
And Reseren heading into Sector 1.
We've got someone in chat needing a soft lock for a bingo, and with the out-of-bounds shenanigans these runners do, that might not be as far off as you think. Also, I should probably let the people know that we have level 1 locks open and charge beam. If there's anything that goes wrong with the tracker, make sure to just, toss a little bit of hassling at our tracker autumn out of habit. And Reseren going to make the play into Sector 1. I'm not sure I totally agree with the play, but it's not terrible. The Various suit is leading me to think something's across the monkey bars in Sector 3. Granted, that's a bit of a gambly play.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard gamble.
But that gamble also pays off a lot.
That is true, but 7 items in Sector 1 is hard to ignore.
I mean, I said I don't necessarily agree with the play. I didn't say it's a bad one. I mean, there also is the part where Reseren is the reason I'm not in the tournament anymore. And Reseren making me eat my words as he finds morph ball bombs on the island in the lava dive. I did not see what was at the other end.
Looked like just some missiles, so nothing... Ooh, we've got another... Ooh, super missiles. Those are nice. That says Sector 4 to me.
I can see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, bombs and supers. That's the Garen right there. That gets you into Sector 4.
Also takes Saris down to only needing 2 hits so that you can get whatever minor item Saris has today. And Reseren making a great play. Having ice missiles, you can't use the normal strats of firing missiles down to fall behind because you just freeze the pirates. Doing small wall jumps off of the wall to give enough time to build up that pseudo screw attack to kill the pirates. Then taking out the stabilizer with a power bomb, the fastest way to get through the stabilizers.
Power bombs are super nice for some rooms. It's just when you're running these seeds, you just never want to see them. And Reseren accidentally falling down a little bit.
You know, honestly, I've started liking to see power bombs, especially early, just because there's so much you can do. If there is anyone who likes to see power bombs in a seed, though, it is Reseren. And that's because he loves finding setups for memory corruption. Of course, that is banned in this tournament, so we won't be seeing it. But I've watched a few of the seeds that he's run on stream, and he is always looking for the fastest way to be able to get out of bounds. All he would need at this point would be high jump, and he has the ability to do Mimco.
Well, we'll have Reseren checking the watering hole real quick. Not able to grab it because, hey, no speed booster yet.
Also won't be able to check the item speed locked above charge core. So that's always one of the items that you hate to not be able to check the first time you go by. Mm-hmm. But super missiles and ice missiles absolutely obliterating the charge core in one shot.
And really, the speed check above charge core is the reason, that you'd want to check Sector 3 before Sector 1, just in case you find that speed. And nothing else of any note in Sector 1. We haven't seen yet, though, the baby's first wall jump behind the save room yet. But other than that, it's just a lot of missiles and E-tanks. After seeing bombs and super missiles, there's been nothing. So let's see what Reseren finds here in this wall jump area.
I just have to say, I love the way that he uses his power bombs as a way to get through rooms more quickly. Reseren also picking up quite a bit of health here. He is one of the runners that will grab a few more E-tanks than we usually see, just for safety, and never a bad idea. But a lot of runners don't like to see power bombs. I've come around on them because they can get you through some rooms more quickly if you make heads-up plays, especially for someone who is a hundo runner. They can get you through a lot of things more quickly. I have to wonder if we might even see an expansion or two get picked up if he starts running low on ammo, as the only way to refill your power bombs are to refill room or from a red X. But the seed giving us its best Legend of Zelda impression, as Ivan also picking up the energy tank on charge core, and summer missiles at the watering hole, no major. And just some E down in the crab rave. They better hope they don't get busted.
Yeah, Ivan taking a little bit longer to clear that stabilizer just because he didn't want to use his power bomb.
Reseren making the play to go into Sector 3. Only has one item available to him right now, but I don't dislike the play. I generally like to go to whatever sector is closest to where I'm at. If there is
I'll disagree with you on that. Only having a single check, especially over these really slow monkey bars in Sector 3, I think Sector 4 is the play right now. It's a little bit of a gamble. That would pay off.
If we have high jump. That's actually worth keeping. That is a go mode item. As well as Reseren probably a little bit disappointed in not being able to do memory corruption, despite having the items for it. Unless there's something that I'm missing, but I don't believe that I'm missing anything for that.
He's got ice missiles, he's got high jump, he's got power bombs. That's memory corruption in a nutshell.
High jump also will make it much easier to get out of Sector 4 if Speed Booster isn't there, although I think the only way we can find Sector 4 without Speed Booster would be if Screw Attack is there. Chat also pointing out that Sector 2, we are just completely sleeping on it. Those bombs do open up all of Sector 2, and Ivan following in Reseren's footsteps, going to pick up his high jump boots as well.
High jump and ice get you out of Sector 2. Reseren heading down into Sector 2 just as we're talking about it. I always feel like the Sector 2 just has some checks that are a little bit out of the way, but it's like they're a little bit out of the way of the main Sector 2 loop, but they're really out of the way if you have to come back. So if you're going to Sector 2, you're going all the way down to check, bottom left-hand corner, for instance.
Oh, absolutely. In Sector 2, very feast or famine, we have definitely seen runners who it has cost when they have not respected Sector 2. But we've also seen runners go through the whole Sector 2 loop, find nothing, and give their opponent the lead. Res also following the power bombs to open up the Notori area doesn't have the firepower to reasonably take out Notori. Does have the gravity suit, so that is going to be huge for him. So that means we still need, technically we need Speed Booster and Plasma for Go. But if Reseren finds Plasma, he's in Go.
As far as Reseren clipping standards.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as far as clips go, it's not the most difficult clip. There's a part of me rooting for it just because I want to get to show it off to chat. But Ivan just making the same routing decisions that Reseren is making. And can't fault him for it because, I mean, these are two very good routers and they are making good calls. And Ivan probably doesn't know that he needs to start making some different decisions in order to try to catch up.
And it looks like Ivan is just clawing back second after second, but after, 3 deaths to Kago jump, he'll really need a different route. So this is the super out of the way item that I was talking about earlier, and it's just a missiles.
That's actually the reason I like to route down the left side of Sector 2. I think it's a good way to do this, although there are several different ways to route Sector 2. Thank you for catching that, chat. I clicked on the tracker button, but it did not track. And Ivan hard committing to the left side of Sector 2, so he won't find his gravity suit until the way back. Although that might mean that he'll be at Wonderwall long enough for me to actually see what was there, because I did not. Also, we will see a Zazabi check out of Reseren. He has high jump to be able to get out of it. And he has been burned on there being an important major at Zazabi before, so that is one check that he will almost never skip. And Donut Pirate, 20 minutes late into a morph start, with how spicy some of these can be, you might not have missed very much.
Although you did miss the powerbomb first major. So let's see if Ivan decides to also go up against his never mind. He's just dipping. Okay.
He might think he's behind with the deaths at the Kago jump. And Zazabi is a slow fight. And just a missile
and it's only missiles.
Zazabi. And missiles on the way, so I have to wonder if it'll be in the back of his mind that he hasn't done it. However, this gravity suit will definitely be nice, and there was nothing else of value in Sector 2, so it was both feast and famine today. Only one thing of value, but when that thing is gravity suit, that's some good value. Just some missiles above Notori, and the only item left to check in Sector 2 with our current equipment is the item at the Puyo Palace. The real question is Ivan planning on routing in Zazabi when he gets down there, or is he planning on skipping the boss?
Well, he's not saving at Puyo Palace, so he's going to be dropping all the way down.
Not necessarily, but yeah, he is going to be dropping all the way down. And we are, in fact, going to see a Zazabi fight, most likely.
Yeah, after he found gravity in Sector 2, that's a really, really high-profile item. You sort of feel, okay, the randomizer must have gone through this way. It's higher likelihood that we see some more important stuff down there. And Reseren accidentally placing that power bomb just a little bit too low to catch that second morph ball bomb block. But Reseren already... don't think he has checked the... Did Res check the Notori area items? Or
yes, he
I
did.
miss that?
Yeah, he was slightly behind Ivan in going through that loop. He used the powerbomb shortcut to go from Zazabi up into that area. Well, to go up out of the sector, he still had to do the loop around from the top, and Reseren is going to give us that Sector 4 check that you wanted. I mean, that's really the only option left available, although there is the chance that something could be in the maintenance duct or at main reactor with the power bombs. The part of me that wants to see route divergence is kind of hoping that we see Ivan go up there. But also, chat, where do we think that Plasma Beam is today?
Well, it's not here. That was just a piece of trash left in the wall. And you contractors, you just gotta keep a hawk's eye on them, or else they just shove stuff wherever they can get, whatever easiest, right?
I mean, I'm not sure with how messed up the BSL research station gets. I'm not sure if that's the first complaint I would have about the contractors. We do have a major power bomb. We've got Space Jump in upper Sector 4. Not required in any way, but can still be, well, not likely to be required, although that could put Yakuza into logic.
If we find Skirt Attack, it could put Crumble City. You also need Space Jump to get out of everyone's favorite Turian area.
Yeah, although we are quite a few items from that. I don't think we'll be seeing Yakuza anytime soon, though. Not with this ammunition, although Reseren is picking up some more missiles, getting ready for a possible boss rush.
Ridley's speed is in logic. That's either speed or gravity are the two go mode items that Ridley can feasibly have.
Although, I would say if speed is on Ridley, we're not going to see Ridley. Or speed. Just some missiles being hoarded by the Alches, and Ivan once again just following right behind with what Reseren is doing. Clueless, our runners already have power bombs?
Well, so just talking about logic, that's a good point. Yeah, Ridley could have power bombs. Hypothetically.
Yeah, my apologies. I was absolutely thinking practical in terms of this game.
Oh, but
stupidly looking at chat to see what's under control.
The viewing public doesn't want to see practical. We don't play randomizers to be practical.
That is true. And just some
just
trash
power bombs.
The pump control. That is a point that Plasma could be speed locked, but then the speed can't be on Ridley if Plasma is speed locked. And Reseren getting ready to take on Ceres. Probably just going to be a missile tank today.
Getting a charge off. Now, Reseren doesn't realize that he has 40 damage missiles right now. There he is. There you go.
40 damage missiles are still 2-shot though, and as a speedrunner of the game, you just get so used to fighting Ceres with charge beam that it's just as quick and just as worthless as always.
Oh, Ivan mistiming that missile mash.
Yeah, it takes some practice. I've gotten to the point where I can pretty reliably hit the missiles on Ceres, but also each level of missile travels at a different acceleration. So even if you get used to it for one level of missiles, it'll be different the next time that you go through. And at this point, main deck has to be the play. Reseren, out of power bombs, had to space jump up to lay a regular bomb to get out of there. Definitely would be nice if there were enemies that gave power bomb ammo, although I think a lot of the community would hate me for cursing that idea into existence.
Well, so actually, now that I think about it, they've got ice missiles. They have high jump for clips. They could clip down into level 4 locks right now and not have to worry about it later, instead of looking for a speed booster. But
yeah,
that idea is
along the critical path. It takes a lot longer to have to do everything else without it. You basically don't want to worry about that logic if Plasma is speed locked somewhere. The only time I would say that doing the red door clip is worth it is if you only need that for go. But we're going to see the maintenance duct here. Reseren getting pretty close to last location.
Actually, I kind of disagree with that just because they're already in Sector 4. So they're very, very close proximity to the level 4 locks. If you find Speed Booster, that's just more travel time to get back to the level 4 locks.
There's a decent bit of RNG involved in getting that clip, though. And also,
is there?
Through attack, you need to do a second clip, and the first one takes, let's say, 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. The second clip doesn't take as long.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying it's slower. It's just because it's an involved process. It's very similar to the clip that you've done in a couple of runs to get to green doors.
Ivan,
asking, what is this seed? I believe the answer is cursed.
And to chat's delight, it won't be the most cursed seed that we see in this this final run. I can guarantee you that.
Oh no!
I don't know what it's going to be, but it's coming.
What also is going to be here is going to be a Yakuza fight. Good play to make. The only other open location. It's either on Yakuza or Notori that progression has to be. And I believe the only items that we could possibly get for progression would be Screw Attack, Plasma Beam, or Speed Booster. I guess it's very unlikely to be Plasma just because that doesn't technically unlock things. And the logic does expect our runners to have Speed Booster.
some nicely placed missile shots from Rez. Nice double from Rez. Making quick work out of this boss. And it's a power bomb tank. Speed on Notori.
Or screw attack on Notori.
Or screw attack, yeah. But there's something on Notori.
The winning play. Well, I guess not necessarily the winning play. That depends on how cursed this wants to get.
I mean, it's getting pretty cursed.
At this point, both of our runners have to think they're behind, too. You don't last location something and feel good about it. I'm like trying to run through mentally of any other location they could possibly check, and I am coming up empty on that.
All the powerbomb locations are Sector 3, Sector 5. Can't get into Sector 6 either way. Because we don't have diffusions. It's, I mean, it could, oh my goodness. It could be Super Troll diffusion missiles on Notori. And that will freeze the POW amp into early Sector 4.
Why would you say such a thing, Army? That's so evil. And that sounds exactly like what the Randomizer would do.
Well, that would unlock one more check. And then it would be screw attack to get into Sector 6. That's how that would work.
Linkshot also pointing out that Plasma Beam would open up Ripper Tower, as our runners do have Space Jump.
That's true. Not often that we see Ripper Tower being progression locked.
Also, Reseren showing off that Notori, one of only 2 bosses in the game that takes damage from power bombs, the other being Arachnus. They are the most powerful attack, doing 50 damage, and that's definitely needed when the beam damage output is quite lacking today.
Reseren looking for those green X, and the core is just not giving it to him. But he doesn't need it anymore, because he got his plasma beam that unlocks Ripper Tower. What do you know?
So that means also, Reseren is in go mode.
Technically, yeah, for clips. He's not in logical go mode yet.
He's not in logical go mode. You have to wonder, is he going to check Ripper Tower knowing that that is the only thing that this puts into logic? Or no, he's just going. I'm trying to think, would this count as power bombs required?
Yes, because Space Jump was behind power bombs.
That is true. Thank you for catching that. I was trying to put together where that item is.
And Reseren is going to go check Ripper Tower.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Speed Booster would still be faster to have.
Ivan, completely and totally lost. Hey, look, there's Speed Booster.
Imagine that. We have a major in the only location we could have a major. It doesn't have to be Speed Booster. It could be Screw Attack.
It could be Screw Attack. That is true.
It could be Diffusion Missiles. Reseren getting trolled by the Rippers a little bit. Let's see what we are going to find here.
Hey, look, there's Speed Booster.
Okay, now Reseren is in logical go mode at 37 minutes and 14 seconds. What is this seed?
This is a Ripper Tower seed.
And you have to imagine that was the item that Reseren was hoping to find in there too, because Speed Booster will definitely speeds things up. The only other item I could see wanting there would be Screw Attack, just for making farming and the like a bit easier, as well as mobility.
He's in with the clip! I've been clipped up using a frozen key hunter to get to Notori without having to go all the way around.
I blinked and I missed it, but that is absolutely a thing that can be done.
It's amazing!
It's a smart routing decision. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be a little bit too little too late.
Also, Summer, there may or may not be a message in the Discord.
It looks like Reseren is going to go open things up the old-fashioned way.
This is just game 1, and I don't know, would you call my speed booster call a called item when you saw that, Major?
You did call that because that could have been diffusion or screw attack as well. Although I think Linkshot's call of Plasma being able to open Ripper Tower, I think that's the real call that we've had today.
That was a real call right there. Okay, so now here's the question. Which would be faster? Clipping into level 4 locks. So, opening up green doors would be faster than clipping into level 4 locks.
If you don't get amazing RNG, yes. Because not only do you need to have RNG to have at least one crab going a 50-50 going down in the room. Much more difficult if you don't have 2 crabs there. And then on top of that, then you have to lure a fish into a certain spot in the room above red doors so that you can clip through the speed booster blocks. And Reseren making absolutely quick work of Sector 2. Or Sector 5. What are numbers? And Ivan with Speed Booster, we have both runners in go mode.
So Reseren in lower sector 4.
I have to say, it's really showing us also how vision play we're getting, that we have a seed this cursed, and it's going to come in under 50 minutes. I mean, when you're down to top 4, there are no bad runners left.
And Ivan also making the level 2 lock play. So no more fancy clips. He already showed off clips.
Yeah, if these two aren't going for it, I'm going to say it's faster.
So for Ripper Tower, whenever you grab the high jump item, that changes the room state for the main Sector 2 tower to where all of the cocoons are frozen. That locks off the Ripper Tower. And the second state where the cocoons hatch and the key hunters are flying around, you need both Space Jump and Plasma Beam, because those are the 2 major items that you get on the way back out of the tower down state. Yeah? Well, okay,
if our
what's
runners
the thought?
didn't go to Sector 3 before Sector 2, you know, the play that you were saying that you thought would be better, they could have gotten to Ripper Tower on the way down.
They could have.
They could have gotten their speed booster and then probably actually had a longer seed, because it would have taken a while to go look for Vanilla and Tori.
That the moment where the better play is the worst play.
And 2 tries for Reseren to scam his way out of lower Sector 4. And it's going to be hard for Ivan to catch up on this, although we do have the weakest beam combination possible here, so not going to be able to get any stunlocks and on the Omega.
We do have
a lot
ice
of times
missiles for a nice SAX stun.
Yeah, although with that many shots, that just increases the amount of chances for it to break out of the stunlock. But Reseren would have to have a lot of things go wrong for Ivan to make his way back into this one.
Ivan getting tripped up by a fish. I hate when you run into fish like that. Oh, not giving himself quite enough runway for that speed booster.
It always feels bad when you do that. And you never want to give yourself too much room because it's slow. But then you bonk.
Ivan making his way to his level 4 locks just as Reseren triggering the SAX fight and the final boss rush.
Reseren so far nailed the diagonal stun lock.
Yeah, get comfy. We'll be here for a little bit. And that's the first phase.
And that's why you want to do the diagonal stun lock versus the vertical. Especially when you have solo plasma. It just takes so long to... There's so many more shots whenever you don't have it colliding in the hitbox as much. And I remember doing the fight with that beam combination a lot of times before I learned the stun lock and just how long it takes. Because if you don't stun lock the SAX, your beam only hits it for 1 frame. And that is one of the biggest reasons for the refreeze and why we do diagonal to get more frames of contact.
Propulsion sequence activated.
So Reseren sitting at 6 E-tanks. Now, each swipe of the Omega takes off an entire E-tank. And if single plasma, so it'll be a long fight. Reseren still has to be real careful to not die to the Omega.
That is true, although we are dealing with one of the best runners in the business. Reseren habitually comes in second in most of the tournaments in Metroid Fusion, and not able to do its grudge match against the person who usually does in first.
And the screwless low height, unfortunately dropping it.
Hitting jump just a little bit too soon to be able to go through. That's the one difficult part with that trick, is that if you hit jump slightly too early, before you are actually standing, it won't let you go through.
Oh no, Reseren is at 1 HP. He has to be really careful, because if he gets hit by the Omega, he dies.
But he's gonna get a health refill here, Army. I think Reseren will be okay.
I've been checking that data room just to see... Oh no, it's just a missile tank. Ooh, the double swipe! So almost getting a nice stun lock on the Omega, but...
Reseren definitely respecting the Omega. And that's going to do it for the Omega. Get your GGs in chat here, as we are going to have Reseren taking the race with an official racetime.gg time of 47 minutes and 35 seconds.
And also, don't go anywhere. The next race is going to be in 5 minutes or so.
I've been voicing a little bit of displeasure here.
And I'm sure that he is cursing my name right now. Army! What was that seed?
That might be the worst Ivan impression I've ever heard.
I haven't really heard him speak that much. We haven't really been on a lot of voice chats. So, what would you rather a really over the top Spanish accent? Actually, no. Never mind. Don't answer that. You would.
Don't put words in my mouth, Army of One.
Also, don't lie to yourself. 9
That too.
minutes. Ah. Okay. Let me get that race time room up. Call it 8.5 minutes or 7.5 minutes. But with that, we need to ping the volunteer. Make sure that the next. Please move up race time for next race. We don't want the stream to cut out mid-episode.
Yeah, that
Again.
would be bad. And it looks like we are going to be firing our tracker for this upcoming race. So Autumn Out of Habit will no longer be tracking, and it looks like we will be having Clue take over.
Okay, so the schedule has been updated. We are on course for the next race. And until then, we'll just have a little bit of a break. So go get a drink, hydrate, stretch, and we'll be back in 5-6 minutes or so. So see you then.
See you in a few.